we're working towards something like this, right? With a 12 grid system. We went to 960.gs, we downloaded it in our downloads folder. We unzipped it, right? And we got all the stuff in this folder, bless you. We go to templates, Photoshop, and in Photoshop we have the 12 column. And we can just click on that and it should open up. There we see that. If we have, if you have these blue lines and you don't want to see them, just hide them. And you can flip this on and off. So what we're working on is a manuscript grid, something we see all the time, like in Medium and New York Times. Right? It's a manuscript grid. It's the easiest grid that we can do. Right? And what we're going to do, this is a little tight. We're going to do something much more common nowadays, is 3 off, 6 on, 3 off to make 12. Right? So first we're going to make a couple backgrounds. We'll make a main background, and we'll make a background for the text. Both could be the same color. That's fine. I'm just to demonstrate the grid system, I'm making them different colors.
What's the size of your canvas?
What's that?
Does it matter the size of everyone's canvas?
I would just the default, what they have.
Okay.
Because their columns fit this exact width. The width has to be the same. If you want to make a longer height, that's fine later. I think for now, let's just stick with just this, actually.
And that's the default size?
Yeah, whatever you opened, that's the size, right? So the image size, I think it should be 960 or 1020 by 1020.
Right.
So let's just stick with that. So our main background, let's pick a color, something fairly light. Just for now, we can change this later. Our text background, let's do something dark. So, like we said, we're going to do 3 off for the text, but we want to start to give it breathing room, so we'll do 2. Right, so we'll have 2 blank on each side there. Sink the paint bucket. Go like that. And now our text is going to start. Oops, I don't like that. That bugs me. And our text is going to start here. All right? So we have 3 off, 6 on, 3 off. All right? And our text is right in the middle. Okay. Any questions so far? So now we need to find what text we want to use, right? What kind of font? So let's say we're doing a tech blog. I'm sick of using the same font all the time, so let's do something else. So for a tech blog, maybe we want some monospace in there because monospace is nerdy looking, something they use, programmers use in terminals. So we can do monospace sans serif. Ooh, I like this. This one's cool. So we have Inconsolata and Montserrat. That looks kind of cool. I could try it. All right. Whatever. All right, so you can just test it. I really like this font. So we can download it. Cool, so lucky this doesn't have a ton of versions. So it looks like the monospace is called, what was it called? Inconsolata. And the paragraph is Montserrat. So this one we have a ton, but let's just do the regular. Let's do regular and maybe a bold, semi-bold. Maybe an italic one. that. All right, so we have Montserrat and Inconsolata. You can do whatever. Do whatever. You don't have to do exactly what I do. Right? I just picked this one. You know, any of these pairings you can do that you think might fit what your blog. All right, so now I'm going to do the header. So it's going to start right here, right? So I think a good habit to get in when you do your text, don't just click and drag. Because this is the length of my text, right? I'm saving some room in there. So my text color is going to be very light. So it was Inconsolata. Let's make it bold for the header, I guess. Let's make it super big. So we can change this around later too, right? For now, we'll just start this, and maybe I'll instead name this Inconsolata font. All right, and notice I have snapping on too. It's very important. Turn on snapping. That view, snap. So that way, as long as you have the grid on, it'll snap to that grid. So our next font is this Montserrat. So where can I generate a bunch of paragraph text? Yep. Okay, let's take like 3 paragraphs. Copy. So now I'm going to go here. Let's see. So we want the text to go like about that much. Paste it. Select it. And now we go Montserrat. No, what was that text called? Yeah, Montserrat. Regular. Let's try 18. 16. Yeah. Yeah, that looks pretty good. So everything's nice and lined up. Not bad. Maybe also we want a header too. So that's something that FontPair .co doesn't give us. So we can just kind of make that up based on these 2 fonts. So one of them would be better than the other. I'm going to try the Montserrat. So I'm going to turn this back on. Put something here. Bless you. Let's try that. So, or semi-bold. And then, so I'll go to the paragraph settings and put it to all caps. And this font, I'm just going to start it off. Montserrat regular. What do you think? Is that a good header too? It's fine. If you're not keeping up, that's totally fine too, guys. Nothing I'm doing is that technically hard. And it's being recorded. Mario, do you have a question?
Oh no, it's about the black color that you
Okay. You got it? He's got it? Okay. All right. So once you get your typographic layout and it looks good enough, right? Spend some time with it. I went way too quick. All right. You want a lot of text to put in there. You want your header, header 1, header 2, organize everything. I'm going to select all this, and I'll say body text. I'll select this, and I'll put in a folder, call it backgrounds. Maybe I'll put my first background there too. All right. Also, I'm going to take a second to make sure I did this right. I might need to make this font even smaller, right? I'm just going to count how many characters I have across here. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. All right, so it's like 59. So does that fit? Is 59 okay? 59 characters? Yeah, that'll fit, right? We had our rules. So we said 45 to 75, so 59. I do want you guys for the homework, just add in there how many characters across it is, just because I want you checking this. Put that in a separate font, like something like Helvetica or something. And that's something the designers would not code, right? But I just want you to put that detail in there so that I know that you're counting, all right? Just so I know that you thought about the font size. And then we can turn that off. All right? I could actually put this all in a folder and call it like info or like design info. So then that I can just turn it all off, right? All right, so the next order of business would be picking a color palette, right? So maybe we want to color the links, something like that, right? So we already have 2 colors, right? We have this white and we have this black. Let's just add one other color. We don't need 5. You don't have to have 5, right? So say our tech blog has like, I don't know what. Say, what kind of tech blog is it? It's like an eco tech blog. So then we have like a green. Right? So we just have a green, black, and a white. So I like this black. I'm going to kind of start with that in Adobe Color Picker. I'm going to hit I to get my eyedropper. And I'm going to copy this hex code. Well, I can memorize it, right? It's 2F, 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 2F. So, did I open it already? Yes. Okay. So I'll go here. Less 2F, 2F, 2F. And let's see. Let's get like triad. No. I guess it's kind of, I think we just have to invent, because you would really start with the green. So let's say it's that. I don't know, since we're using so few colors, it doesn't really matter. But anyway, so you would pick your color palette here. So it says, bless you, Adobe Color Picker says something like this might go well. So let's try this, kind of like rugged, dirtier green. It goes with my black there. So now say I want to start making some links to see what that looks like. So this mounts are at regular. And I could select some of the text. So let's pretend like this is what a link would look like. Pick the paragraph, color, pop it in there. So that's what? That's a little dark, right? So we could go back. We did have a much brighter one, which was this one. So let's try that one. Yeah, that's pretty good. Put another one in. And you could also underline it as well, right? Because links are underlined. Put that underline. It's up to you. Whatever you think for the design makes sense. Yeah, question?
When you do the spacing, you want 3 columns or 3 added on each side?
Here, I'll show you 1 second. Let's see. Okay. So there's our links. Okay. So with the spacing, whatever you think, I mean, you know, this is just what we're doing right now. We'll do stuff later too. So I have 1, 2. Then I put the text color down. Then I count a third one, and then I put the text. So we have 3 off for text, 6 on, 3 off. Does that make sense? See that? Sometimes it could be 2 and then 8 and then 2. But for this, let's just stick to this. This is just like such a common thing. So I'm just going to take a second too to put my palette up here. Let's see. So just in case you forget, we're going to grab the shape tool. Let's make these 100. So this background one isn't going to make a lot of sense. 100, and then I'm going to pick the color background. Let's make one more. And then our color here for that guy. So then these 3 ones I can put in a folder and say palette. And that could go into the info as well, because we turn on that. So you got your stuff for the designer, and you got your stuff that's actually going to be what the web page looks like. And just for the heck of it, let's line up this palette. Maybe you want your palette on, and you want to turn that stuff off. All right, any questions about this? I'm going to stop the recording.